Hi,
I'm Christina.
I'm Maya from Bookworm Dreams, and welcome to a new video.
So, as you can see from the title, we are doing the mid-year freakout tag. So we'll link the original creators down below because I'm not sure how to pronounce their names, so I just won't even try, but you will have the links down below. So we just decided to give like a slight overview before we get to with the questions. So I'll just say I read 56 books this year so far, and I have to say, as I was answering these questions in preparation for this, I realized that I think I have had a rather meh year of books.
Okay.
I've had a really difficult time kind of deciding what like my favorite one was, or like a favorite character or anything, because I just almost nothing stuck. Like
okay.
Really like
I understand that.
I don't know why. Maybe I was just in a mood, like in general, with my
with
psyche. Yes, so kind of I don't know, it affected my reading. How did you do?
Well, I read 54 books, and I was looking through the list for the books for the answers. I was like, man, I've read a lot of paranormal fantasy this year. Paranormal romance, not paranormal fantasy, paranormal romance. I was like, okay, so like I had like a huge fantasy book, paranormal romance, a science fiction book, a bunch of paranormal romance, and I had Talia Hibbert somewhere in there. Then paranormal romance, then fantasy, and it was like, okay, so this is the year I've rediscovered romance apparently. But yeah, so but I mean, also I had trouble remembering all the things that I read, and there are a couple of questions of like, what are you looking forward to? Like, nothing.
Can't even remember that.
I couldn't even. I had a very meh feeling about reading this entire year. That's why I think I'm having trouble sticking to my TBR. And yeah, but let's go through the questions, and then you can see what we read and what we enjoyed or did not enjoy this year. So,
best book you've read so far in 2021.
All right, so I have two answers for this one.
Oh,
yes. So I had first I had several options. I was like, I'll try to vary this list so I wouldn't mention. It's like I remember last year I just mentioned Luke Arnold and not Dead Man in a Ditch, but the first one, Last Mile in Thunder City all the time. So for this I have The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal. I do have a vlog of reading this. This is basically an alternate history story in which a meteorite is coming to Earth to kill everybody, and they're trying to hastily develop technology and ways to get to Mars to colonize it. This is all being set in the 60s of the 20th century in America. I just loved it so much. It was an unexpected gem, and I loved it. And my second one is The Sword of Kagan by M.L. Wong. And
I've heard about that one.
it is awesome until you get to the last chapter, but before that, it's such a great military fantasy. The fight scenes were so well written, and you could totally follow the battle, and there were real actual consequences. Usually when you read fantasy, there's a battle, then the next chapter you're like moving on to something else, but here you have consequences of people's actions and people feeling other people's deaths. It's it's so good. So those are my two picks for so far the best books I've read.
Okay.
You?
I actually chose a weird one for me, but I chose a middle grade, and that is Amal Unbound by Aisha Saeed. So I wasn't really expecting much from that book. Like, I heard about it, but when I read it, it was just so poignant and so heartfelt, and just it felt like a true human story. Like, you have like Humans of New York, and this was a story about a girl who just wants to get an education, and she wants to like educate herself and teach others later on, and just she is very much like not typical of her village, because she's like in a small village that is oh my gosh, there's like a kind of warlord, like a person that kind of controls everything, and she the story starts as she accidentally oh my gosh, what is the word? Offends him, but she doesn't know that that's him. But he takes offense, and he kind of takes her into indentured slavery, and she has to kind of pay off the debt that she has created and that her father has, and it's just real. It was so just, I don't know, I loved it. It was just like it. At the same time, it hurt, but at the same time, it lifted me up because it has a really beautiful, inspiring
message.
Message in the end. And I later found out that it was inspired by Malala. So
cool.
Once I found that out, it made sense, the whole story. So even more than it did. So I absolutely loved it.
Cool.
Best sequel you've read so far in 2021?
I have two also for this. So, first one I want to mention is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is book 3 in the Brown Sisters series. Definitely book 1 and book 3 are my favorites of the whole series, in which we follow Eve Brown, the third Brown sister. She's kind of a screw up, and she decides to have a new career, and then she meets her love interest, and they're like a whole grumpy sunshine pairing, sort of dislike to love a relationship, and it was a fun read and I enjoyed it a lot. And the second book is One Good Dragon Deserves Another. This is book 2 in the I keep forgetting Heartstriker series by Rachel Aaron, and basically this is an urban fantasy series in which we follow dragons that can shapeshift into humans, and our main character, whose name of course escapes me now, gets kicked out of his house by his very cruel mother, who we meet in the second one, and she's amazing. Basically she kicks him out because he's not dragon enough, and he has to be cruel to humans and treats them like shit, and he's a kind soul, and he goes to a place where basically everybody hunts supernatural creatures, especially dragons, and he basically does stuff. But in the second one, the world gets wider. We get a lot of world building. We meet the family, we meet the mother and all the bunch of dragony children there. And then there's like this like he is a dragon, but he's also like a wizard or like a seer, and his name is Julius, and he's such a fun character because he's like trying to set things, he's like playing chess with somebody, and he's trying to set the piece, the characters are the pieces, and he's trying to set the pieces, and he's like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, what I want you to go, and he's hilarious, and there's lots of unexpected humor, and just I really, really enjoyed it. And I was reading through the list, like, I need to continue with the series. But yeah, that's my second one. What about you?
Oh, very cool. Okay, so for me, it's a toss-up between Air of Fire and Empire of Storms in like the Throne of Glass series, because I actually have read quite a lot of sequels. Like, take a hint, Danny Brown. Like, I love that one also. But like, I think these two were like the most impactful for me, and I really, really like love them. And I just finished Empire of Storms yesterday, and I just wrote to her like a message, shit, Maya, oh shit, what just happened? So yeah, it was, those two. New release you haven't read yet but want to.
Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo.
Me too.
I was like, what has even come out this year? I was like, oh my god, yes, that one. I'll even have it on my phone getting ready to be read, but I just never get to it. So yeah, that's one definitely something I want to continue on with.
Yeah, I put that one down too. I put down Act Your Age, Eve Brown.
You haven't read that?
No. And I remembered as I was like, contemplating all this tag that I actually never read the third book in the Dayavabat trilogy, which like came out last year.
Really?
Yes, I still haven't read it.
I'm like in my head you've read this.
No, I keep waiting to buy the entire set, but like I really have to stop because I really want to like know what happens, because I really love that. Anyways, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Most anticipated release for the second half of the year.
I don't have one.
Oh, I do.
Okay, cool.
I do. The Heart Principle by Helen Huang, which we have been waiting for like basically 2 years. So please, whoever the publisher is, publish it already, because my friend who bought it for me for my like I think last birthday or like the one before is really like already asking me questions. Christina, when is this gonna come out? Like, I'm buying you new gifts, but like this is crazy. So I really want that to come out.
Cool.
Biggest disappointment.
All right, now. First of all, this one. Now,
I was wondering why you brought that
this
one.
See, we started reading Throne of Glass this year, the whole series, and this I've read everything to Empire of Storms. That's the last one I read. So this is basically a reread, and rereading this does not age well. I mean, I didn't have like high expectations. I know in general that I enjoy the series and I enjoy the characters and everything, but I was like, I didn't really have that much high expectations, but did not age well. And while I was reading, I was like, I don't understand why I gave it 4 stars. Of course, I read it I think 5 years ago, and my reading tastes were a bit different and everything. But yeah, that one, and also Upright Women Wanted by Sarah Gailey.
Oh.
It has such a cool premise. But the execution was kind of. We do have a we
have a review of
it, so we'll leave it in the description box and somewhere here. Basically, it has such a great premise, but it was like okay, I expected more. This is like YA trope on YA trope for like young adult fantasy, and Selena comes out so. I mean. I just remember I read it. I wrote it in my Goodreads review for the second time. If I didn't know that the series got so much better, I would DNF it at this book. It's that bad. So yeah. What about you? What's your most disappointing read?
So it's Simmer Down by Sarah Smith. I talked about this like in.
Oh, that's the food truck thingy.
Yes, the food truck thingy. I really love my romance. I love it when it's like. Hate to love, dislike to love, and this had everything. Like it had food. It was like on Hawaii, I think. They had banter and everything, but oh my god, some of the things that the main character said, and when I'm still not sure if that was gonna be like the plot line later on, because I DNF'd it like maybe 40% or even less. But like the moment I started thinking, okay, this is gonna be like the third act thingy. What is it? Conflict. I was like, no, I can't anymore. This is just like no. I hated it. I really like. I really always try to find something good in a book, and I disliked everything here. And I don't like saying it, but it just wasn't my jam. It just no.
Okay.
Yeah. Biggest surprise.
Okay, I have 3 for this one. So, okay, first one.
She is making me like edit a video like a lot.
I have one to show. So first one is The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. First of all, I didn't really know what to expect. I read this for the Asian Readathon. I have a blog, so you can check it out. I didn't know what to expect with this book, but what I got was so good. It was so well written. The characters, you follow the beginning of a rebellion to the end of it's like Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, but in Fantasyland, and it's so good with the details, with the world building. I was so pleasantly surprised. I gave it 5 stars, and it's just so good. The second one, you can put this humongous book down. The second one is the one I read this month in June, and I read it twice. And that is it's a paranormal romance called Shift by Ruby Dixon. Basically, we follow a bunch of shifters that shift into bears, and they find their mates, and then they fuck. And it's basically each story. That's what they do. Each story follows explores a different kind of a kink, but it is so good. I was like, I don't like what I'm reading. I'm gonna reread the bear shit fucking thing. That's that one. And the third one is called For Psychos. Now I was on this reverse harem kick in I think March, and I wanted to read a bunch of reverse harem romances, and I found For Psychos. And this story, short, it's like a novella. Okay. It has had such a fascinating world building and such fascinating setup for the characters that I didn't mind that the first book had no sex in it. Oh. That's how good it was. So that's my third most surprising, because I was in it for the sex, got no sex, but I was like, oh my god, this is so good, and I continue reading.
Anyways, my biggest surprise was weirdly Becoming by Michelle Obama.
Okay.
Because I was surprised by how much I liked it.
Okay.
No, because I wasn't like, it was...
You didn't have any expectations for it?
No, I mean, I didn't really follow the Obamas when they, when he was president and everything. So I kind of picked it up on a whim. My husband wanted to listen to it with me. Well, out of everything that I had to listen, he was just like, that's the only thing I could listen.
Okay.
And I had a lot of fantasy and sci-fi, and he was like, no, just, we're gonna go with Obama. And I really, I genuinely, seriously enjoyed it. I loved her writing style. It really felt like she was telling a story. I absolutely enjoyed the audiobook. She's a great narrator. And I genuinely, I loved it so much. And I think that was the surprise, because...
Okay.
Favorite new author, debut, or new to you?
All right, 2 for this one. So basically Ken Liu, because of the grace of Kings, the only book I read from him, and it blew me away. And Emma Long for the oh my god, the Sword of Kagan. I mean, that book, the Sword of Kagan, won, I think, the self-published fantasy blog of in the year that it was a part of. And it's just, you can totally tell it's such a well-written book. The military aspects, I mean, I read a lot of, Brandon Sanderson writes a lot of military stuff as well. I mean, his character is always in a battle and whatever. But it was such a different level of that, and it was so well done. And both of them are the authors I read this year for the first time, and they're just awesome. What about you?
Well, I was really just struggling with this.
Okay.
Because,
Did you read a lot of new authors to you this year?
Sarah J. Maas is a new author to me.
Okay.
For example, I would pick up her books.
Okay.
Based on what I read, but I wouldn't say she was a favorite.
Okay.
I read one book by Christina C. Jones. She wrote the Romance Getting Schooled, which had the teacher thing trope. Teacher-student trope.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like it, but I loved her characters. I loved that she included people with disabilities. They were both black. They were also humans. I like when my characters feel like
humans, people,
normal people,
mm-hmm.
and they both had traumas and they were dealing with, and it wasn't a taboo to have a trauma and
mm-hmm.
have to deal. So maybe those two, I guess. It's not a favorite. I would for example, for Christina C. Jones, I would need to read more to see, but I liked what I saw.
You so far read 6 Sarah J. Maas books?
Yeah. So yeah, I like it. They just feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to them while I walk this little one behind us. And it's very easy to listen to. You just go through it. So like I said, I wouldn't call it a favorite, but it is. I would read her books just to pass the time,
okay.
And I know I will enjoy them. I maybe
mm-hmm.
won't give them 5 stars, but I know it will be maybe even a palate cleanser,
mm-hmm.
From everything else that I read.
Okay, cool.
Newest fictional crush. Newest favorite character.
All right. So since she just told me she doesn't have anyone for this, I have for both of these this character from this series called Kiva Lagos. Now this interdependency series by John Scalzi is a science fiction soap opera with bunch of so many things happening. Basically, the gist of this trilogy is that humanity has spread through the universe using a space highway called the Flux. Which is basically wormholes through other parts of the universe, and the flux is breaking down and disappearing, which will make other colonies stranded on far side of the universe. So we follow several characters, one of them being Kiva Lagos. Now, you know how I love characters who swear?
Yes.
She swears a lot. And she is, in the third book, just basically definitely explains her character the best. She is an agent of chaos, but she has a sense of morality that is above everyone's. Basically, all the sort of upper echelons of the society there are very self-centered and very selfish and just want to fix themselves. They don't care about the people that they're supposed to be governing or taking care of. They care about them and their family being on top. She's opposite of that, and she is just so I mean, the things she does, in the first book alone, the way she sort of gets information from a space pirate is so good. So good, and I was reading through my Goodreads reviews. I was like, when I read this one, I was like, oh my god, Kiva Long, this is my new favorite character, and she's just so awesome. And yes, so that's the answer to those two questions. She's just read it just for her because she's amazing. And,
Book that made you cry.
oh, me? All right, so I had no answer to this until I got here. So while I was driving here, I have a car book that I listen to while I drive to Christina's house or anywhere when I drive everywhere. And I'm listening to Battleground by Jim Butcher. This is book 17 into Dresden Files. And somebody fucking died. And I'm driving on the fucking highway and I'm trying like not to cry. And it was fucking horrible. It was horrible. I'm like driving and I'm like just trying to wipe away tears because the character died and other characters had some very emotional responses which threatened everything, and it was just so fucking horrible. And anyway, I'm just waiting for like a Phoenix thing to happen, like in Harry Potter. When Fox comes in and cries on something and people come alive, whatever. That's what I'm expecting at the end, but I know I'm not going to get it. And it's just, oh my god, it was like I didn't even cry on the Throne of Glass books when the stuff happened, but this was like, anyway, it's so spoiler because it's book 17. I can't tell you shit, but a character died and I'm distraught and it's going to suck. But yes, what's your answer to this one?
My answer is In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. I read this at the beginning of the year. So this is a story about basically two friends. It is marketed as a romance story. It is not a romance story. So just, if you even want to read that, just no, it's not. There's no romance in there. It's a story about two friends, about their relationship, about dealing with a very difficult situation in one of the friends' lives and how the other friend kind of reacts to that and how they come to understand each other more and see how they misjudged each other at some point. For me, it was just a beautiful exploration of friendship, and the end was just, it hit very hard to home. Like, it has never happened to me, but it's one of my biggest fears in life, and it was just too close to my biggest fear, and I bawled my eyes out for like the last 50-70 pages of the book. I just couldn't stop myself. So yeah, that one.
Did you cry on Empire of Storms
No.
at the end? Really?
No.
I cried when that happened the first time I read it. Okay.
It was real bad. My heart ached. My heart ached, but I didn't cry.
Okay, alright.
Book that made you happy.
Alright, so choosing Theo made me very happy. It's a paranormal romance about a girl who gets kidnapped, of course. Gets kidnapped by aliens on Earth and deposited on this planet, in which she has to participate in this sort of lottery, and she has to pick a husband, and she chooses Theo, and Theo is like, she's a spy and I'm gonna make her life miserable and make her say who she's working with, because he's like a mercenary and shit and he has enemies, and everything he does is basically what humans like, because they don't really have humans in there, whatever. And so everything he like brings an animal home, she's like, oh, a puppy, and you know, basically the romance blossoms, and it's so good. Then get a live Chloe Brown. If you get a chance, listen to it on audio, because the guy has a northern London accent and it's hot and I love it. And this whole trilogy, the Interdependency series by John Scalzi, it hit the right spots, and I was so entertained. I was so happy with all the books, and it's so good. What about you?
Okay, I wrote only one thing down. And it is Alien Claimed by Joey K. Cohen. Like, literally, that book made me so happy. I'm still a bit shocked at how much I liked it. Basically, it's a story about a blue alien and a human girl that comes to this planet. He's also a mercenary, I think. and she comes to this planet because she has been kind of sold off by her brother as somebody's bride, male
Jesus,
bride.
okay.
Yeah, there's like that is one thing that absolutely I was amazed by in this book. Like, it had a lot of romance, there was sex, like they had banter, but there was like an underlying, like
There's plot.
there was like an underlying there's shit happening in the galaxy on Earth. There were I saw that the sequels are from some of the characters that are mentioned in this book.
That's what happens usually.
And they have different roles to play within this empire and galaxy, and I'm like literally itching to get to those books because not only do I want to see the romance, I want to know what actually happens, and are there overthrow this or that. So like, made me so happy.
Cool.
Like, that was really good.
Great.
Favorite book to film adaptation you saw this year?
Again, I do not have a question on my list. This happened last time. I was like,
oh really?
Isn't there a film question here? So favorite, I saw Sweet Tooth. I saw that. That was cool.
I still don't see that.
What did I see? That was I didn't read Chaos Walking, so that doesn't count, right? If you, yeah.
Did you watch Shadow and Bone?
No, I did not watch Shadow and Bone.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Netflix apparently does.
Netflix,
does adaptations.
And I plan on watching Sweet Tooth because one of my favorite comics of all times.
It doesn't really follow it a lot.
No.
Sort of.
Okay.
If you've read the first three, you're good.
Okay.
But it expands a lot on it.
Okay.
But it was fun. It was fun. What did I? Jurassic. Oh. Jurassic World. No, Jurassic World Crustaceous Camp. Right? I think that's it. Basically, it's a Netflix animated show about a bunch of kids that go to summer camp to Jurassic Park, the Jurassic World, the first movie with Chris Pratt and with the Indominus Rex thingy. And basically, they're there during the first movie when the Indominus Rex gets loose, and basically they're trying to survive without adults. It's like it has like 2 or 3 seasons now, and I like it. It's fun, and it's like based on Jurassic Park, so that's kind of cool. I also already saw Jurassic Park, all of them, again this year. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Favorite review you've written this year or favorite video you have done so far in this year?
Again, another question I had on my list.
Oh, sorry. I wrote down popular opinions tag.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
We had fun with that.
That was fun.
Oh, you know what we had fun with? The Mariah's game, remember?
Oh yeah,
with
the
word association challenge. We're gonna link that down below. We had so much fun with that.
Yes,
we had
cool.
Yeah.
I have selective memories, so I don't remember stuff at all. So what did I have fun with? I don't see. I can't remember anything I had fun with this year. But we did a bunch of cool reviews. I like the horror week because we read a bunch of unexpected things. I'm enjoying the Throne of Glass read along that we're doing. Check out our channel.
Check out our videos.
Yes. We had fun in most of them. So
most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received?
I have that one. Actually. So I have 3 again. So this is the sequel to the best book of last year. This is Dead Man in a Ditch by Luke Arnold. It's awesome. Look at this amazing cover. And it's just, I haven't read it yet, but I will soon. And I'm just looking forward to it because how awesome that is. Anyway, then I have Sandman Slim. I like the details of the dude by Richard K. something. I can't really read it. But Cadre. Basically, we follow a dude who's been betrayed by his friends and said to, basically he's been living in hell. He was the only living person in hell, and he learned some tricks, and then he came back to seek some revenge. Tanya's been reading it. She says it's fun. So yeah.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, that one.
And
then I bought the 9th Rain trilogy, and I bought book 2 just because of the Blue Dragon, because it's awesome. And this series follows a group of characters who go around doing stuff. I don't know. I think there's a dude, and there's like a witch that likes to set things on fire, and they've been hired by some woman, Vincenza something, I don't know, to go and find artifacts. That's the first one. And I don't know, I haven't read it. So that's the second one, and I just really, really enjoy the art because I like dragons, and it's really cool.
Yeah. I have nothing.
You have nothing?
No, because I have not been buying books this year, so
Yeah.
but Maya has showed
I went
you
to the-
3, so I think we're good.
I went to the movies once and I got it. Bunch of books. There's a haul. You can check it
Like,
out.
yeah. What books do you need to read by the end of the year?
I don't have a list because apparently this year has been. I make a list and I don't follow it because I start reading paranormal romances, and I just could not care less. So basically, my goal for the second half of the year is to try to finish some series, and try to sort of either stop setting TBRs that I don't follow or follow the TBRs that I set. So yeah, I don't really have a specific book that I want to read or have to read till the end. I mean, we could probably try reading Sarah Gailey more.
Well,
but
yeah, but that's like a loose
goal.
We can finish the Throne of Glass
And
series
then
and then
continue
go
with
with
Sarah
this.
Gailey.
I know that we have like 5 books that we need to finish, which are on a book club pick.
Oh yeah.
We need to finish those. And I don't know what else I need to finish. I am doing a buddy read in November
With
Shannon.
again?
Yes. I will link Shannon down below. She's really awesome. And yeah, we're doing a middle grade this
cool.
time. So yeah, I will talk about that more in November.
But yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
yeah.
TBRs are not arting
Apparently.
this year like at all.
I have a bullet journal for my reading, and then I have like a fancy page for TBR, and then like on the left side of that page, the spread, I have like books that I actually read because these ones like don't get read. But yeah, that is it for our mid-year freakout tag. If you haven't done it already, please feel tagged by us to do it. If you want to share the best book and the worst book you read in the first half of this year, please do down below in the comments so we can talk about it. And
yes, please like, share, subscribe, press the bell button if you want to get notifications whenever we post new videos.
And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.